using audio-video conferencing and whiteboard applications. I first met the Elluminate online collaboration client back in the summer of 2007. I quickly became enamored with how it gathered together so many online applications that I had used as separate, standalone internet activities. Back in 1996, I used Internet Relay Chat, also known as IRC, to chat with several communities, exchanged files using transfer protocol software, also known as FTP, and more recently I verbally talked with library school classmates using Google Talk. However, this Elluminate thing, wow, it brought all these items together, plus it provided live video and a whiteboard capable of sharing PowerPoint presentations. This was fantastic. My introduction to Elluminate was facilitated by the San Jose State School of Library and Information Science while I was working towards a master's degree. I participated in student training and became proficient in using Elluminate. Later, several of my online classes utilized Elluminate to facilitate synchronous meetings for the online classes I was taking. I became quite at ease in attending class from the comfort of my own home. So much so that when the opportunity arose, I enrolled into an independent study course that trained us to peer teach classmates and help professors facilitate sessions as key elements of their instruction. I became a SLIS moderator. SLIS, meaning School of Library Information Science, moderator, meaning an aficionado in using collaborative applications. My presentation today will discuss the strengths and weakness of using online collaboration applications. So there will be three sections. First, a far too brief look at the audio-video conferencing and whiteboard applications in general. Hopefully this will be enough to whet your appetite into learning more. This is followed by a few words about the strengths and problems involved in using this software. Finally, I want to show you how I have used online applications such as Blackboard Collaborate, to bring teachers, students, and speakers together in a digital medium. Even though it may be technically complicated, it is physically economical and educationally exciting. If you travel in certain tech circles today, you may hear the buzzwords such as webcast and/or webinar. In simple terms, think of it as an online audio and sometimes video phone call that has one speaker and several listeners. Webcasting is a form of online broadcast that streams media over the internet to an individual's computer, such as the videos you find on YouTube and certain proprietary websites. In contrast, a webinar, which is short for web-based seminar, are online meetings that allow verbal interaction and document exchange with the participants. They are useful for teaching, training, and collaboration. There are many choices when looking for software. A brief list would include applications that I have experienced, such as Adobe Connect, Elluminate Live, and Blackboard Collaborate. If you are interested in increasing this list, go to Google and type in the phrase comparison of web conferencing software. You will find a listing of several applications. However, your first stop absolutely has to be an appointment with your information technology director. Your IT department may already have a contract with the company, and it may be willing to share for academic use. In any case, you will definitely need to work with IT when facilitating any online collaborative software. So as with any new endeavor, it is sometimes worthwhile to weigh the pros and the cons, the strengths and the weaknesses. The list of pros is lengthy, but a few strengths I have found most important are the fact that the use of video provides more expressive communications, the use of video, voice, and chat simultaneously can build a much more rich facilitation of a meeting, online meeting. The fact that you can have multi-purpose whiteboard that you can draw on, display pictures on, and upload a PowerPoint to is very powerful. that meetings are web browser based, and because of this, they're fairly easy to access. The means to distribute documents back and forth within the meeting is very useful. And even though you hold these meetings in a synchronous manner, they can be recorded and viewed later in many cases. The benefit and the ability to communicate to build a global community is very important, very useful. Okay, so however, there are a few negatives, mostly in terms of time and cost to using any collaborative software, such as you need to train all participants, so there may be a learning curve involved. Participants need to have a fairly high quality broadband internet connection. They need to have headphones and a microphone, and if you're going to do video, they'll need a fairly high quality webcam. If it's a global audience, the meeting time may be inconvenient. Somebody in Australia is not going to have the same, Pacific Standard Time that you might want to have in San Francisco. So those need to be considered. Times need to be considered. If folks have any visual or hearing impairments, this may make it not usable. And IT may cause some frustration and even maybe failure in setting up these connections. So to alleviate, if not all these problems, or at least a few of them, take time to pre-plan for all contingency. Take time and thoroughly train yourself, train all the participants, and conduct a few rehearsals. This will be very new to some folks, and there is a large learning curve. In the spring of 2009, and again in 2010, I dreamed up a way to use Elluminate Live to connect my father's World War II experiences as a combat glider pilot with a special education history class. Now at the same time, he was 95 and 96 years old. Bringing him to my school from the neighboring town would have been uncomfortable for him. However, I recruited the help of my fairly tech-savvy sister to help facilitate my father's virtual visit to my library. With the passing of my father at the age of 97 in 2010, I have soldiered on to bring a family friend who is a Korean War veteran to talk about his experiences aboard the aircraft carrier Boxer. He did this in the spring of 2011 and again last spring. Currently, I'm working on two new projects. One is to bring my wife's nephew, who is studying economics at Texas State University, to chat with a class of seniors studying econ. The other is to get a former library school professor to talk about the creation of his children's iBook that's about bugs to an early childhood education class. From the beginning, the projects I have done and any future projects consist of 4 components. There was a preparation component where you made sure your speaker had the connection capacity, the right equipment, and the tech ability to participate. Then if you're just starting out, you go and collaborate with maybe someone you might consider a buddy teacher to test out the process. You go to the teacher who is willing to give up some instructional time to try something new and very different. In this component, you pre-teach to the students what will be happening and involve them in creating questions for the guest. Then you set up, test, and run the session. You should do a few practice meetings prior to the actual scheduled time to build your own ability and confidence for you and your speaker. You conclude the project with having the students write thank you notes to the speaker. This will teach good manners and provide an opportunity for topic reinforcement. So no matter how you use an online collaborative application, it is bound to step up the instructional intensity, but offer a rich and memorable teaching environment.